Hello from the lookout. We're not at the lookout. I'll bet you know that. We're actually in Conway, which is a couple hours away. We had doctor's appointments this morning, so sorry to be getting this to you late. All right, here we go. Are you ready? It's a good day. It's a beautiful day. Day 132. Day 132. Walking through the Bible, walking through together. And we're on May the 12th, if you're following along. All right, let's start today with Isaiah chapter 40, verses 27 to 31. These are some well-loved verses, okay, from Isaiah. I know you'll recognize them. O Jacob, how can you say the Lord does not see your troubles? O Israel, how can you say God ignores your rights? Have you never heard? Have you never understood? The Lord is the everlasting God, the creator of all the earth. He never grows weak or weary. No one can measure the depths of his understanding. He gives power to the weak and strength to the powerless. Even youths will become weak and tired, and young men will fall in exhaustion. But those who trust in the Lord will find new strength. Those who trust in the Lord will find new strength. They will soar high on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. Now, you've probably noticed this before because you're smarter than I am. I get that. But as I was reading this and thinking about these verses this morning, did you notice that the writer says they're going to soar high on wings like eagles? So they're soaring, and then they're running, and they're not growing weary. They're soaring, and then they're running, and then they're walking and not fainting. There are different chapters in our lives. Sometimes we're soaring high, and we love it, and we say, God, I want to stay up here the whole time. And God says, enjoy it while you're here. And then there are other times when we're running fast. But amazingly, we're not getting tired, and we say, God, keep me going like this. I love this. And then we find ourselves walking and not fainting. May I suggest to you to enjoy whatever season you're in, whether soaring or running or walking. Recognize God helping you in each of those chapters of your life. Okay? All right, awesome. Okay. 1 Samuel 12 and 13. Today Samuel addresses the people and their new king Saul, remember? And he wants them to tell him if he's ever broken trust with them. Okay? So he says, tell me, have I ever taken anything? Have I ever asked for anything? Have I ever taken a bribe? And they said, no, your hands are clean. You've never done anything. And then he gives them a short history lesson. Chapter 12, verses 8 to 13. Okay? Chapter 12, 8 to 13. And of course, the wind is blowing, and I'll fight my pages. Thanks for your patience. Okay, 8 to 13. When the Israelites were in Egypt, Samuel's giving them a short history lesson. When the Israelites were in Egypt and cried out to the Lord, he sent Moses and Aaron to rescue them from Egypt and to bring them into his land, into this land. But the people soon forgot about the Lord their God, so he handed them over to Sisera, the commander of Hazor's army, and also to the Philistines and to the king of Moab, who fought against them. Then they cried to the Lord again and confessed, we have sinned by turning away from the Lord and worshiping the images of Baal and Ashtoreth. But we will worship you and you alone if you will rescue us from our enemies. Then the Lord sent Gideon, Bedan, Jephthah, and Samuel to save you, and you lived in safety. But when you were afraid of Nahash, the king of Ammon, you came to me and said that you wanted a king to reign over you, even though the Lord your God was already your king. So he reminds them, He reminds them of their history and how they've constantly needed God's rescue. So just like we talked, wrong page. Samuel is telling the people and demonstrating that they have sinned against God by asking for a king. Now listen to these reassuring words from Samuel, chapter 12, verse 20, and then 23 and 24. Don't be afraid, Samuel reassured them. You have certainly done wrong, but make sure now that you worship the Lord with all your heart and don't turn your back on him. And then 23 and 24, as for me, I will certainly not sin against the Lord by ending my prayers for you, and I will continue to teach you what is good and right. But be sure to fear the Lord and faithfully serve him. Think of all the wonderful things he has done for you. But if you continue to sin, you and your king will be swept away. Reassuring words, but then a reminder, right? Okay, Samuel is still committed to the people, and he will pray for them. Now, note this, Samuel knows them. He knows what their tendencies are, and he commits to continue praying to God for them. We can do the same. Even after people we are committed to disappoint or fail us, we can continue to lift them up to the Lord. Now Saul keeps 3,000 troops and sends the others home. He gives 1,000 men to his son Jonathan, who immediately goes and attacks an enemy outpost. He attacks it and overcomes it. And so now the enemy is angry. The Philistines are angry, and they amass their army to come against the Israelites. And Saul and his men are afraid. Now comes Saul's first failure as a king. So soon, so soon. Samuel told him to wait 7 days, and he would come and offer the sacrifice. And Saul waited 7 days, and Samuel wasn't there yet. And his army was melting. The scripture says they were melting away. And so when Samuel doesn't arrive as soon as Saul wants, he performs the job of the priest and sacrifices the offerings himself. And then Samuel arrives. He says, "What have you done? What have you done?" Well, I had to ask God what to do. And Samuel says, "Because you have taken this on yourself, because you didn't wait, the kingship will not last in your family. It will pass on to another who's more worthy." They're in a bad place. As I was reading, I was thinking, Saul, were you listening as Samuel was recounting the history of all the times that God had saved his people? It was God who saved his people, not the prophets and judges. It was God who used them, and he has raised him up. And Saul has already experienced God using him, but how quickly he forgot. He was from an era, remember, just in Judges, it said a couple of times, the people did what was right in their own eyes. They'd had no king to rule over them. They were used to doing what was right in their own eyes, and Saul did that. And it failed. Okay? We'll hear more about it tomorrow. Okay, all right. To John 7. Today Jesus goes to Jerusalem to celebrate a holy day, the Festival of Shelters. And he goes to the temple to teach. And the people begin to grapple with Jesus. I was thinking about, like when you see two college wrestlers grapple on a mat. Okay, they're grappling with Jesus, trying to understand, but they're really more intent on disproving him, proving that he's false. Okay, 7:14 to 20. Then midway through the festival, Jesus went up to the temple and began to teach. The people were surprised when they heard him. How does he know so much Pages, pages, pages. There we go, there we go. How does he know so much when he hasn't been trained, they asked. So Jesus told them, my message is not my own. It comes from God who sent me. Anyone who wants to do the will of God will know whether my teaching is from God or is merely my own. Those who speak for themselves want glory only for themselves. But a person who seeks to honor the one who sent him speaks the truth, not lies. Moses gave you the law, but none of you obeys it. In fact, you're trying to kill me. The crowd replied, you're demon possessed. Who's trying to kill you? Now that's interesting. Hang on to that for just a second. I'm going to turn my page so I'm ready to read again. Okay, give me just a second. Thank you for your patience. Okay, there it is. I got it. Okay, so just like we talked about yesterday, the people don't trust Jesus because they cannot figure him out. And they can't see how he could be anybody special. They know where he comes from. Jesus knows the intent of the religious leaders. They want to kill him, and eventually they will kill him. Now listen to 7:25-30, okay? Some of the people who lived in Jerusalem started to ask each other, see here, watch, isn't this the man they were trying to kill? Now just a second ago they said, who's trying to kill you? You're demon possessed. And now they say, isn't this the one they're trying to kill? They're playing both sides, aren't they? But here he is speaking in public, and they say nothing to him. Could our leaders possibly believe that he is the Messiah? But how could he be? For we know where this man comes from. When the Messiah comes, he will simply appear. No one will know where he comes from. While Jesus was teaching in the temple, he called out, yes, you know me, and you know where I come from, but I'm not here on my own. The one who sent me is true, and you don't know him, but I know him because I come from him, and he sent me to you. Then the leaders tried to arrest him, but no one laid a hand on him because his time had not yet come. Okay, so the people did not understand his statements about knowing the Father and knowing where he is really from. Think of it this way. They are finite. They understand that every person is born at one moment and he dies at another. They know that people are defined by where they come from and by the family occupation. And Jesus, he claims to be outside of everything they know and understand about people. They're using finite minds with limited understanding, to understand the only person they've ever met who is infinite. Their minds are blown. They're shutting down. Think about how patient Jesus really is with the people and with us. Lord, open our eyes and our minds to comprehend a little more of you today. Lord, open our eyes and our minds to comprehend a little more of you today. The finite, us, you and me, finite people, trying to comprehend the infinite God. Lord, give us minds. Open our minds so we can understand a little more today. Well, Psalm 108, this is a great psalm. My heart is confident in you, O God. No wonder I can sing your praises with all my heart. Wake up, lyre and harp. I will wake the dawn with my song. I will thank you, Lord, among all the people. I will sing your praises among the nations. For your unfailing love is higher than the heavens. Your faithfulness reaches to the clouds. Be exalted, O God, above the highest heavens. May your glory shine over all the earth. And then in the first part of 13 says, with God's help, we will do mighty things. With God's help, with the help of the infinite God, we will do mighty things. God bless you.